Milk, homogenized, pasteurized, packaged, refrigerated, and wholesome. But back in the 1800s, even with ingenious inventions automating the dairy industry, maze-like piping and hard-to-reach surfaces made cleaning and sanitizing difficult. In the early 1900s, dairy products were transported slowly and left outside. There was little protection from contamination and spoilage, especially in summer months when all food spoiled quickly. The quality of life in America needed more than ingenious inventions. And once again, the dairy industry took the lead with innovations in sanitation. During the 1920s, the forerunners of three present-day associations started to develop more stringent and uniform standards for dairy processing equipment. The discussion included processors, sanitarians, and equipment manufacturers. Together, they published the first industry equipment standards, which became known as the 3A Sanitary Standards, named for the three groups that had combined their efforts to improve equipment, design, and sanitation. In 1944, a dairy industry committee was formed, and the U.S. Public Health Service offered full cooperation with the 3A program. This marked the beginning of a program to provide uniform equipment standards for the protection of public health. And in 1954, the first processing equipment bearing the new 3A symbol was revealed at a dairy industry exhibition. Now, processing equipment could be shown to meet certain material, design, and fabrication standards for cleanability and inspection. The chances of milk being good for you were better than they'd ever been before. In 2002, 3A Sanitary Standards Incorporated was organized. 3ASSI is a not-for-profit corporation governed by representatives of the stakeholder groups, processors of dairy food products, federal, state, local, and industry sanitarians, academic institutions, and equipment manufacturers. 3ASSI today is responsible for overseeing the growing inventory of standards, the 3A symbol licensing program, and much more. Today, there are approximately 80 3A sanitary standards and accepted practices. More than 360 companies from across the U.S. and 22 countries around the world hold authorizations to display the 3A symbol on various types of processing equipment. The 3A sanitary standards combine material, design, and fabrication criteria to assure the cleanability of dairy equipment. The goal is to protect consumable products from contamination and to ensure that all product contact surfaces can be properly cleaned and sanitized. Before 3A SSI authorizes display of the 3A symbol, manufacturers must conform to established criteria in the 3A sanitary standard for the equipment. First, equipment must be manufactured from specified corrosion-resistant, non-toxic, non-absorbent materials that can be maintained under its intended use. Contact surfaces must be smooth, non-porous, and free of flaws that could harbor residue and bacteria. Equipment must be designed to be effectively cleaned and sanitized, as well as be accessible for inspection. Equipment must also be designed to protect its contents from external contamination, and all non-product contact surfaces around the equipment must be cleanable. Together, the application of these equipment standards reflects the goal of the 3A Sanitary Standards program, the protection of public health. On the dairy farm where milk is held in refrigerated storage tanks, the 3A symbol shows that the material and cleanability standards were built into the equipment at the time of its manufacture. On its way to the dairy, milk is transported by stainless steel tanker trucks that meet the same strict standards for materials and cleanability. Once inside the processing plant, milk products flow through equipment that has met yet another set of stringent criteria. These 3A sanitary standards, which apply from the farm to packaging, are formulated and developed through the diligent volunteer collaboration of equipment manufacturers, processors, sanitarians, and regulatory authorities. The 3A symbol assures that the processing equipment has been designed and built to exacting sanitary standards and properly verified. When consumers reach into the dairy case in the supermarket or the refrigerator at home, they have more assurance than ever before that yes, dairy foods are wholesome. The 3A symbol on a piece of processing equipment is far more than just another logo. Over decades of use in the marketplace for food processing equipment, the 3A symbol has earned special stature and recognition, even more so today with independent verification of equipment required for use of the mark. Users of dairy processing equipment trust the 3A symbol because it shows that the equipment meets sanitary design criteria approved by regulatory sanitarians and others. They know that the equipment they specify or purchase with the 3A symbol will be easier to clean and maintain, and that the inspection will go more smoothly because equipment conforms to standards that sanitarians help formulate. Regulatory sanitarians benefit through these guidelines for uniform evaluation and compliance too. The 3A symbol signifies that the equipment is compatible with regulatory requirements and guidelines. They have assurance that the equipment was designed and manufactured to a precise set of standards that embody decades of expert knowledge about sanitary design and inspection from regulatory professionals and others. Equipment manufacturers gain broad recognition and acceptance of their products across the country because the 3A symbol shows that the equipment conforms to proven sanitary design criteria. The 3A symbol helps streamline the equipment inspection process since it receives approval by virtually all sanitarians and regulatory officials. Each standard details the sanitary aspects of materials, design, and fabrication, so the equipment will be universally acceptable to processors and sanitarians. And standardization reduces the cost in dies, tools, maintenance, and extended delivery time that would result without uniform criteria. 3A sanitary standards and accepted practices are being constantly developed, revised, or amended by work groups of subject matter specialists within 3A SSI. First, a group of experienced standards professionals from the stakeholder groups, known as the 3A Steering Committee, determines the need for a new project or a revision. Once approved, the project is assigned to a work group where it goes through a rigorous consensus process involving regulatory sanitarians, processors, and manufacturers. The 3A sanitary standard or accepted practice must then meet specific majority requirements in the work group before going on to a second level of public review and approval by a designated voting body, balanced by the 3 interest groups. When a standard has been approved, manufacturers may apply for authorization to use the 3A symbol. To display the 3A symbol, a company must complete an application signed by a responsible company executive affirming that the equipment conforms to the appropriate standard and that the company will observe all provisions of the license agreement for use and display of the 3A symbol. The company must engage a qualified independent equipment expert credentialed by 3A SSI, known as a Certified Conformance Evaluator or CCE, who will inspect finished samples of the equipment to be listed on the 3A symbol authorization. The CCE must perform the third-party verification or TPV inspection at the site of manufacture or final assembly of the equipment. The TPV inspection includes a comprehensive review of the finished equipment design drawings, quality assurance practices, materials certifications, and a sample of the actual display of the 3A symbol. When the inspection is completed and conformance is verified, the CCE sends a copy of the report of conformance to 3A SSI. The fabricator sends a copy of the TPV report to 3A SSI with the completed application and payment. 3A SSI reviews the application package, and if it is complete and satisfactory, the manufacturer is authorized to utilize the 3A symbol. This application process, with the added assurance of the independent TPV inspection, helps all parties trust the equipment that displays the 3A symbol meets strict standards for design fabrication and cleanability, establishes for sanitarians reliable guidelines for uniform evaluation and compliance, and provides equipment manufacturers proven criteria for sanitary design and fabrication. The 3A Sanitary Standards program was a good idea early in the 20th century. It's even a better idea today and will continue to serve the dairy and food industry in the future. By keeping pace with modern technology, the 3A symbol program continues to assist processors, sanitarians, and equipment manufacturers. just as important, the program helps ensure that milk and other dairy products will remain safe and wholesome for all consumers.